So pursuant to Standing Order 106 Sub 4, the committee commences consideration of the request to undertake a study of recent events surrounding the expulsion of diplomats from the Government of India and the situation of foreign interference in Canada. I will pass the floor to Mr. McGregor. Mr. McGregor, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and good morning to committee members. I just first of all want to start off by thanking everyone who joined with me in signing the 106-4 letter. As you can imagine, it's pretty rare that we get unanimous support for an emergency meeting, but I think the revelations from the RCMP that were delivered to the Canadian public on Thanksgiving Monday were nothing short of explosive, and I think they demand this committee's attention. I will be moving a motion, Mr. Chair, and I know that the clerk has both French and English copies available, hard copy and digital, for members who are participating in person and online. But before I move the motion, I think it's important just to add a little bit of brief context, because of course this is not the first time that we have been witness to serious allegations involving the Government of India and its agents in Canada. In fact, it was more than a year ago in September of 2023 that the Prime Minister stood in the House of Commons and leveled these accusations against the Government of India, accusing it and its agents of nefarious criminal activity, of election interference, a whole host of things. And needless to say, for the Prime Minister to rise in the House of Commons and make such a statement, that did make headlines around the world. Since then, of course, we've had the Hogue Commission release an interim report that was in May of 2023. And if you read that report, you can see that there are broad mentions of India's interference in Canada throughout that report. And then, of course, in June of 2024, the National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians released its special report on election interference, which again mentioned the activities of the Government of India throughout it. So that brings us, Mr. Chair, to October 14th, 2024, this past Monday. And for the RCMP, indeed for any police force that is conducting an active investigation, to come out with such explosive revelations, I think underscores just how serious this is. And I think the RCMP made a point that they were doing this because some individuals in Canada had their lives directly in danger, and the threat had reached such a level that they felt compelled to ignore the traditional way of going through the judicial process and make these accusations public, so that particularly members of the South Asian community whose lives might be in danger could be forewarned, and so that we could be remaining extra vigilant. So I also think, Mr. Chair, that the House of Commons and the Senate came together quite quickly in June of this year to pass Bill C-70, which of course contained important legislative measures to deal with foreign interference. So I think with all of these events coming together and culminating in what we saw on Monday, I think it is quite appropriate for this committee to be seized with the matter. And with that in mind, I would like to move the following motion: that pursuant to Standing Order 1082, the committee undertake a study concerning the electoral interference and violent criminal activities carried out by agents of the Government of India, as identified by the National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians report and the RCMP's report from October 14th, 2024, and the subsequent expulsion of 6 diplomats from the Government of India. As a part of this study, the committee hold no less than 6 meetings, ensuring an equal distribution of time for witnesses, and invite the following ministers, senior officials, and expert witnesses from impacted communities and academia to provide briefings. 1, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Melanie Joly. 2, the Minister of Public Safety, the Honorable Dominic LeBlanc. 3, the RCMP Commissioner, Mike Duhem. 4, National Security and Intelligence Advisor, Natalie Drouin. 5, experts from Canada's South Asian community. 6, Brampton Mayor Patrick Brown, and any former leadership candidates of the 2022 Conservative Party leadership race. And 7, national security subject matter experts. With that, Mr. Chair, the motion is so moved. I hope copies have been distributed to members, and I will give my time back to the chair. Thank you very much.
Is there any more questions or discussion on this, on the amendment, on the motion as amended? Seeing none, I call a vote on this. All in favor? All opposed? Thank you very much. Motion is carried.